Hey, what's going on? How are you? I hope you are doing excellent today. I want to welcome you to this broadcast. My name is Jay Moore. I'm your healthy accountant. And today we are talking about how to remove obstacles. How to remove obstacles. Thank you so much for joining me today on this enlightenment program. Just before we get started, I want to ask you that, look, if this is your first time, second time, third time, maybe you haven't already liked or subscribed on our page or channel, if you would please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the information that we're putting out here. And if you get value from the program, please share it across your social networks here on the internet. So thank you so much for joining me today. So how to remove obstacles, how to remove obstacles. Well, the first question is, why am I even talking about obstacles? Hey, man, I'm just like you. I have not arrived. I am not, so successful in life that an obstacle doesn't show up and rear its head. And so because I have my own personal obstacles, I said, well, why don't I talk about it? Why don't I talk about how to remove one? And I've been reading a book, finished it last week. It's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind, written by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Dr. Joseph Murphy. You should check that book out. Really good book. It's not long. It's about 130 something pages. But it's a really good book to understand thinking. Thinking, right? Thinking. Like sometimes, I'll ask my kids, I say, hey, um, I asked them a question and they'll give me an answer. I said, did you think about it? They were like, yeah, I did. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, I don't think you thought, because that answer does not reflect thinking. When you say, I don't know. See, I don't know answer means that you haven't taken the time to challenge your mind as to where the answer lies. And so thinking is the greatest level of doing that you could have. Because if you learn how to think, if I learn how to think better, I'll come up with better solutions. So I looked up the word obstacle, and it says a thing that blocks one's way or prevents or hinders progress. That's an obstacle, something that's blocking your way. It could be a mountain. Look, in Mark chapter 11, verses 23 and 24, it says, God can remove, you can tell a mountain to throw itself into the sea. This is coming from the clear word. You can tell a mountain to throw itself into the sea, and it will be done for you. God can remove any obstacle that stands in the way of your ministry or stands in your way. As you pray, ask God to give you the faith to believe that He will help you, and He will do so. How to remove obstacles. So there's a book written by Dr. Wayne Dwyer. He passed away a few years back. And he's one of these guys that, would have been considered a self-help guru, coming up when I was a kid. I could hear many people, from the faith or from church saying, oh, that self-help stuff, man, that stuff is hogwash. That stuff is, you shouldn't even be paying attention to that stuff. But what I've learned about this thing called self-help is that it's spiritual thinking. That's what it is. Plain and simple. It's spiritual thinking. He wrote a beautiful book, another short book, a beautiful book called There is a Spiritual Solution to All Your Problems. And it's like, man, spiritual solution? Absolutely. What did we just read here in Mark chapter 11, 23 and 24? that you could tell a mountain to throw itself into the sea. If God, basically, if God said that that was cool, it would happen. But here's the thing: you must believe wholeheartedly. You must believe so hard at the thing that you want to produce that there'll be no stopping you. See, the obstacles that I face in my life are, I'm not going to sit here and tell you like what the obstacles are, but I'm going to tell you the obstacles are similar to yours. You've got obstacles, and they're basic. They're not even, they could be financial, they could be health, they could be relationships, they could be your business, they could be your job, they could be all sorts of things. They could be all sorts of things that you're dealing with in your life, obstacles. But a lot of times what happens is we're not focused on the solution. We're focused on the obstacle. I'm going to say that again. A lot of times we're not focused on the solution. We're focused on the obstacle. So imagine you've got an obstacle in your life. I have an obstacle in my life and I'm looking at it. I just keep my eyes on the obstacle. I'm just looking. How in the world am I going to remove this obstacle? How is it going to just disappear if I'm just looking at it? It's kind of like if I'm standing in front of a door and I want the door to open, I can't just look at the door. What am I going to have to do to this door? I'm going to have to push the door, turn the knob, or kick the door down, or figure out a way to make this door turn in or out or break down, or find a way over the door or around the door somehow. So removing obstacles requires us to look at something different. That's called the solution. So whatever you're dealing with today, you have an obstacle. Take one. Take one obstacle. You want to take one? Let's take like a financial, a financial obstacle. We all have something financial. At least typically most people have a financial obstacle. Even those that are doing really well, theirs is just bigger than yours and mine. So take your financial obstacle and just and so first, yes, you recognize what this obstacle is. You say, okay, there it is. There's the obstacle in front of me. All right. Now that I know what it is, I don't want to keep looking at it. I want to now realize something totally different. I'm going to realize, okay, what do I need to think about? What is the solution to this problem? And if it's, hey man, maybe you need to, say, man, I really want to make $10,000 a month. All right, take your eye off the 10,000. And now, okay, what would I have to not do, but who would I need to become? Because maybe you haven't earned 10,000 before. Because if you've never done it, then that means you're gonna have to become something that you are not right now. So maybe it's a specific character. Maybe you gotta get better at sales. Man, I got to get better at sales. And I'm going to have to sell more. I'm going to have to do some marketing. I'm going to have to, have this characteristic of courage. I'm going to have that thick skin that's needed, when I'm talking to someone that's going to say no and realize that, look, it's for their good that I sell them my service or my product. And if I were to sell it to them, that would make their business, their life much better. That's the character now. That's the character trait, and that's the thing that you gotta focus on instead of focusing on that dollar amount. Look, I've had problems with that. Where I'm looking at the problem and then I'm looking at the solution, I'm looking at the problem, looking at the solution. And even me, like I'm sitting here and intellectually, oh, this is good. Intellectually, like I know some things. Intellectually is conscious. It's the conscious state, you know, is what you think you believe versus the subconscious is what you believe. I'm gonna say that again. The conscious is what you think you believe. That's like that's like, us talking and, when saying, yes, I believe in the Bible. Yes, I want to have a good diet plan, and I want to be able to look my best and feel my best, right? It's all about, the conscious state. So the conscious state is like on the surface, what everyone can see. Now the subconscious state is that state where that's where you find true belief. So it's kind of like, man, I wanted to make this change in my life, and I was doing some things, and next thing you know, nothing happened. Jay, what happened? Why didn't it happen? Well, the subconscious didn't believe it. Remember that book I was telling you about, The Power of the Subconscious Mind? It talks about how you've got to you have to program in. Now, a lot of times we program stuff that we shouldn't program. We might program negative things in our subconscious, and what happens is it's kind of like when we react to things. Something happens, we know we should react one way, but we react in the negative way. And then we say, well, it's like you can't help it. Well, I don't. Guys, this is how I feel. So I got to tell you about this. But then you say that, well, I should have probably reacted more positively instead of getting upset with the person, about what they did to me. I should have acted more loving, more kind, more long suffering to the fact that maybe, they did something to me, and, I want to forgive them and not continue to harper on the negative thing that they may have done to me. See, in the Bible it says, love your enemies as yourself. Love your enemies as yourself, assuming that you love yourself at the highest level. But if you don't love yourself at a very high level, you won't be able to love your enemies in the right way, even your friends or family. You won't be able to love your friends and family because you don't love yourself at such a high level. There's so many people that's dealing with, and I know with different types of personalities where it's like they're really nice on the surface, but they're not nice. They're upset inside. And it's weird because like I've met people, I know people whom have this almost like a fake niceness. It's nice up until a point. It's like, they will do for you up until a point, and then they'll regret it. I'm gonna tell you, that's like the worst. It's like back in the day when I was a kid, they called that the Indian giver, the person that will give you something, but then wish they wouldn't have gave it to you. Like, what? Like, wait a second, didn't you give that to me? And you told me how you wanted to, and the next thing you know, say, I wish I wouldn't have gave that to you. Like, wow. I thought you really wanted to help. I thought you really wanted to give. So that type of person is having a self-love problem. They're having a problem loving themselves. They're having a problem forgiving themselves of something that may be happening in their life. And I'm gonna tell you, that's a rough one, because I don't know that I really experienced this, but I think I can understand it because I've always been very forgiving, to a fault forgiving. And I remember there was a time in my life where I didn't want to forgive anymore. Like I got into some trouble, and I was with some friends, and one of the friends, you know, there was something that he did that I didn't like, and I was ready to write him off. And I was doing my best to write him off. I really was. But I'm gonna tell you, it was harder to I found it for me more challenging to write him off because it was like me going against my natural tendency to forgive. And once I released him, and once I released myself of that feeling, I was like, man, I can't go back to that. I don't mind forgiving people because look, man, at the end of the day, it's easier. It feels better. It feels better to forgive than to hold a grudge, than to constantly remember what someone did to you that you felt wrong. Now the Bible is true. It says that, look, if someone takes advantage of you, if someone does something to you, let them do it 7 more times, times 7. Give them the other cheek if they hit you on one side. Really, that's what Jesus said. Why would and that's what he talked about in this text, Mark 11 and 23 and 24. He's telling you how to remove your obstacles. He's telling you that, look, you must believe that you can move this mountain. You must believe it. See, if there's no belief in moving the mountain, there's no need to even go up to the mountain, because that mountain's not going to move. That obstacle is going to stay in front of you until it'll move when you believe. So look, you want to remove an obstacle today. As I close out today, you want to remove an obstacle. You got to realize that there is an obstacle. You got to recognize, say, okay, where is it? What is it? That's what it is. All right, so now that I know what it is, let me take my eye off of the obstacle. Step number 2. I'm going to take my eye off the obstacle. And now as I realize, I'm going to now look at something totally different. Okay, I'm going to have to create either within me some new characteristic, or or I have to bring about something that's there that I may have not, really been looking at. In my case, I had to release myself. In the case of forgiveness, I had to release myself of being unforgiven. In the case of forgiving my friend, and then just feeling so much better, where that obstacle just totally went away and my life was so much better. But if we're talking about that money thing that we like we said a few minutes ago, you want to make 10,000, you never made 10,000. Now you got to say, okay, well, what's the characteristic? Oh, I got to learn how to sell better. I learn how to market better. Who do I need to model? What do I need to model? What book do I need to read? What seminar do I need to go to? What videos do I need to watch? What do I need to remove? See, there's removals there. You got to add some things and you got to remove some things. So you want to remove that obstacle today. It's financial, it's health, it's in a relationship, it's a job, it's a business. I don't know. But take your eye off the obstacle and focus in on what the solution is. The solution, there's a spiritual solution, like Wayne Dwyer said, to all your problems, to all my problems. And today, use that text, Mark 11, 23 and 24. Any version would suffice. I read from the Clear Word. You could read from King James, New Internationals, whatever version you like, and remove your obstacle. But you're going to have to look at that spiritual solution. Get on your knees. Try that. Get on your knees and be thankful. Be thankful. Don't focus on the obstacle. You got to be thankful that the obstacle has been removed. So guys, how to remove obstacles is, I'm not going to tell you how easy it is, but it's going to require you to think. So today, from today on, start thinking. Use your mind. Realize, see the solution inside of the spiritual world. Mark 11, 20, 23 and 24. And I know that you'll be able to remove your obstacles. I know I will. All right. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you back here on the Enlightenment.